Hello, hello, and happy Friday. It is October 22nd, 2021. I'm Kenny Polcari, your host of the party, and here's everything you need to know. Not a whole lot of excitement today, right? The market, yes, made a new high yesterday. The S&P closed at an all-time high. Everyone else is right behind it, but it was a relatively quiet day in retrospect, right? We got lots of earnings. Lots of them were better. Some of them were better, but yet the stocks got punished, right? IBM, Intel, and Snap, to be sure, but we can talk about that, right? So I said the S&P makes a new closing high, which is very, very interesting considering kind of where we are. IBM beat, Intel beats, but traders punish the names, right? Snap breaks after the close, dragging other social media names with it. Oil this morning is up. Futures continue to be mixed. Bitcoin is down a little bit. And what are we having for dinner tonight? We're going to have the drunken spaghetti. It is really delicious, right? And the fun just doesn't want to end. Stocks continue to move higher. The S&P has now made a new closing high, adding 14 points to the index, closing at 45.4978. Nothing short of amazing, considering what's going on all around us. The Dow lost 6 points, the Nasdaq gained 95. The Russell added 6, the transports added another 155 points, again giving the daily crown to that index, rising 1%. The index is now just 300 points or 2% away from making a new closing high. This is the Dow is just 20 points away from making a new closing high as well. It was more of the same, really better earnings across the board, peppered with a couple of notable negative stories. IBM would be one of those stories. While they beat the estimate at $252 a share versus $250, quarterly revenues were below the expectation of $17.6 billion, coming in at $17.6 versus the expected $17.7. The stock fell 9% to end the day at 128. Analysts expressed concerns over a slowdown in high-growth segments, including what they call cloud and cognitive. Others are expressing concern that margins will continue to come under pressure as higher labor costs and retention costs have yet to be passed on to customers. This morning, the stock is quoted at 128.50, 129.50, but it is a name that I own and I like, and I would use this weakness to buy more, and I will. Intel, another one. They beat on the estimates, yet they fell by 8% in the after-hours session following weaker guidance and the idea that the semiconductor shortage is here to stay for a while. Think 2023. 10-year yields closed the day at 1.689%. That's up 50% off the August lows, and it's up 17% since October 1st. We are now back at the May highs and only off 10 basis points from the February highs of 177. Investors are unfazed. So is 1.8 going to be the big bad boogeyman that everybody feared or not? After the bell last night, Atlanta Fed President Rafi Bostic appeared on CNBC and warned of rising rates in the second half of 2022, which again is in complete contrast to what yesterday's Reuters poll of 30 economists had to say. That poll suggested that rates would not rise until 2023. Rafi and others on the Fed are singing a different tune. So what do you think? In addition, he also warned that inflation is not going away anytime soon. The word transitory now being deleted from the conversation. Adding that if it continues to be an issue, he would advise the Fed to become more aggressive on rates. Oh boy, you can see how this is setting up, can't you? Like I said yesterday, the idea that rates are not going to rise in 2022 is false. There is every indication that rates will rise. Now it's just a matter of when and by how much, because that's going to dictate and detail the next move. Oil up 30 cents this morning at 82.82 after coming under some pressure on Thursday. Word that there is a new variant, or at least a renamed variant, sweeping across the UK is causing some concerns. And new forecasts of a milder winter in the United States did give reason for some traders to take recent profits, right? And so they did. Not a big deal. But I would not expect oil to really trade any lower. You're going to find support right at $80. I don't think you're going to get there, while the upside still has $100 in sight. Ecodata showed that initial jobless claims have hit a pandemic low of 290,000 claims, which is great, down significantly over the past couple of months. But I wonder if that has anything to do with the loss of those extended benefits. Suddenly everyone's out looking for a job. Today's economic data includes other key stats, right? Market U.S. manufacturing PMI expected to be 60.5. Well in expansion mode, right? That's bullish. U.S. services expected to be 55.2. Again in expansion mode, but moving towards the neutral line. Remember, 50 is neutral. Below 50 is contraction. But let's not go there right now. There's no need to because we're still in the expansion side of the equation. This morning, U.S. futures are mixed. Dow futures are up 10, S&Ps are down 3, Nasdaq's down 43, Russell's up 10. News that Snap's advertising business declined due to Apple's change in privacy settings is sending the social media stocks into a tailspin this morning. Snap, which fell by 21% in the after-hours session after the release of their earnings and is now taking Facebook, Twitter, Pins, and other social names all lower. Look for earnings today for big names: Caterpillar, American Express, Honeywell, Cleveland Cliffs, HCA, Schlumberger, all due to report this morning. The drama in D.C. continues. It appears that maybe the Dems will get about a $2 trillion deal, plus or minus a couple of billion in either direction. We should hear more about this in the days ahead because, remember, they want to get this done by Halloween. In addition, it continues to be difficult to assess the impact, what this deal is, since we don't really know what's in the bill, right? What the price tag is, and more importantly, how will it be paid for? They tell us it will cost nothing. We know that ain't true. In addition, they're sending all the big Democratic heavyweights to Virginia to stump for Terry McAuliffe, right, who's running for governor. He is now in a dead heat with Republican Glenn Youngkin. And this is going to be a key race to watch. What will it say about the midterm elections if he loses, or what will it say if he wins? Expect to hear lots of talk about how this race is going to set the Dems up for the midterm elections, and even the GOP up for the midterm elections. Look, Bitcoin, which traded up to 66,000 yesterday, is backed off a little bit, trading at 63,000, and Ethereum is trading at 4,100. That will continue to be volatile, so don't get yourself all up and all worked up about it. The S&P ended the day at 45.49, closing at a new all-time high. Going into the weekend, the markets appear to be settled. Nothing today should really cause any disruption, so I suspect it will be a relatively quiet session with no real drama. Earnings continue to surprise. The eco data remains in line. Treasury yields are creeping up. Inflation fears appear to be under control, and oil demand continues to be strong. Remember, we still have the Fed meeting on November 2nd and 3rd, which is a week and a half away, where it is now expected that Jay's going to announce the start of the tapering as soon as mid-November. He's going to have to if the inflation story is what we think it is. And that is what could derail this most recent rally. Not derail it big, but it could cause it to take a pause. The trend line suggests that we won't hit resistance until we get to 4,500, and we can always find support at 4,440. So we're really tight within that range. Remember, you can text the word INVEST to 21,000 on your cell phone to get my digital business card. Feel free to download it, send me off an email or a text. I'm always happy to engage and talk to you about markets, planning, thoughts, concerns, ideas, whatever's on your mind. Even food, because you know me, I love to cook. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Kenny Polcari. You can get me on Instagram at KennyP1961. Okay, so what do we have for dinner tonight? This is really a great dish, right? It's called drunken spaghetti. Spaghetti ubriaco, right, in Italian. It's made with water and wine, which gives it that drunken feel, although it doesn't get you drunk. Let's just say that for what it is. But that is what it's called, drunken spaghetti. So for this, you need a couple of things, right? You need a nice Chianti, right? Don't get anything really expensive. A nice Chianti works fine for this. You need garlic, butter, spaghetti, olive oil, chopped parsley, pancetta, and red pepper flakes are optional, but you can use them if you like. To the pot, you're going to add equal parts of water and equal parts of red wine and bring that to a boil. Put it on the back burner, add the salt, put it on the back burner until you're ready to use it. In the meantime, you want to peel the garlic and slice it. You want to chop some pancetta. You want to place a dollop of butter and some olive oil in a big saute pan large enough to accommodate the pasta once it's cooked, right? Put that over a low heat slowly. You want to melt the butter. You don't want to burn it. Now add the pancetta and cook it until it's just crispy, right? Now toss in the chopped garlic. You want to saute that. Here's where, if you want to add red pepper flakes, you'd add the red pepper flakes now if you're going to use that, right? When the garlic gets toasty, you're going to add a half a cup of the red wine, and you're going to take a ladle of the pasta water, and you're going to add that to the saute pot, right? You're going to turn up the heat. You want the liquid to start to boil and then turn it down to simmer, right? You want to put your pasta in the water, cook it 8 to 10 minutes. When that's done, you want to take the pasta out and add it directly into the saute pan with the with the wine and the water and the garlic and all that, and the pancetta, right? You want to toss it. Keep the heat on, just simmer. You want to toss it. If the pasta sucks up the sauce, which it very well may, just take another ladle of the pasta water. Don't throw the pasta water out yet. Take a ladle of the pasta water and add it, right? You want it just to be moist. You don't want it to be soupy, but you want it to be moist, right? You want to toss it. And then you want to add 2 handfuls of fresh grated Parmigiana cheese to it, or Locatelli Romano, whatever you have. You can mix them. It's not going to hurt. Just put it in there, toss it. And then you want to serve this right away in warm bowls. You want to have some more cheese on your table. Maybe some garlic bread always works well with this. I mean, you can hardly go wrong with garlic bread. It works well with almost everything. And then you're going to drink the same wine that you used to cook with. So if you use a nice Chianti, just drink the Chianti with the dish, right? It really will make it. It's a simple dish to make. Yet it presents beautifully, it's hearty, you feel good after you made it, not a lot to clean up, so it's all good. In any event, it's the weekend's coming. I am traveling for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be in New York and LA and San Diego, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. for a charity event, and then back to Florida. So, put up with me a little bit because I'm not sure I'm going to get a note out every single day considering the schedule I'm on, but one way or the other, just know that I'm around. You can always get me on Twitter at any event. Have a great weekend. Until I see you next, take good care.